Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Cal. Welcome back. Got some Spider-Man Miles Morales gameplay in the background for you. I just wanted to talk about this game really quickly and share my thoughts on it because it is my first Platinum trophy on the PS5, so I've done everything that you really can do on the game. I have 100% completion naturally, and this game is essentially getting a little bit more attention, I want to say, from a lot of the people that are playing it because it is insanely short. So I did want to kind of go into my experience playing it and talk about if it's worth buying at its current price of $50. And really, I think what it comes down to is initially when this game was coming out, I didn't think it was actually going to be as short as it is. However, it wasn't as short for me as it is for other players because it totally depends on what difficulty you play on. So I was actually playing through the entire story on the second hardest difficulty, and this gameplay right here is on the easiest difficulty, I believe, or I think I did change it up to a really high difficulty just because of the fact that if I didn't, every enemy would essentially die in no time. And that basically is the experience with this game. I think what ends up happening is that there's really no reason for you to play on a difficulty, so everyone plays through it on, let's say, easy or normal, and then the game ends up being insanely short because there's only actually a couple story missions. Now, it doesn't matter what difficulty you play on at the end of the day because the game still doesn't have that much content. So after doing everything in the game, getting to 100% completion, it really only took me, I want to say, about 20 hours playing on my difficulty. So if you actually play this game on, let's say, easy, and you did everything, you probably would be finished in half that time. So a lot of my extra playtime is me trying to be super patient, either doing a stronghold like this in complete stealth, or doing it hybrid where I eliminate most of the enemies in stealth, or at least half of the enemies in stealth. So this is a game where, to me, really, I don't know if it should have been that $50 price tag. I think there was a lot of hype when it was coming out because of the PS5 launch, and that's why it was an instant day one play for me. And the game is really, really good. I think the biggest problem is that it should have had a little bit more content because it really needed that, kind of more fleshed out story. There are some really, really good story beats here, and there's some actually pretty cool characters that I would have liked to see, fleshed out a little bit more, have a little bit more screen time overall, but it's still a solid package. However, at that $50 price point, I'm not really sure if I could recommend it to a lot of, other players. The thing with video games is that there's never been a criteria for the type of content that you get. Essentially, you can pay $60 for multiple games and have one game be 10 hours and one game be 100 hours, right? So that's just the way the industry is. But unfortunately for me, the way I look at a game like this, it really needs just a little bit more added to it to kind of justify that price tag. Because when I was going through on New Game Plus, this is when I really realized just how short it was. Because essentially, all I did was the story missions. I didn't really do anything else, except for these side activities that were needed to trigger some story missions. So I would do like 1 or 2 side activities at the most, and then that would trigger the next story mission. But I actually finished the game on easy. This was when I was just doing the story altogether, right? I finished it in probably less than 5 hours, I want to say. I wasn't really keeping track, but it was easily, I would say, under 5 hours. It was insane. This is just doing the story missions, of course, which is not the entire game. There are a lot of side missions that you have to do, lots of activities, especially with there's an app that the game kind of integrates into its story, and it kind of lets, you do a lot of activities that are optional and stuff like that if you want to help out people in the city. But that was my experience playing the game. Now, again, I do have the Platinum trophy. It was fun to get. It's essentially just like The Amazing Spider-Man, or Marvel Spider-Man rather, that came out in 2018. If you play that game, which most likely you did, if you're watching this video, but all it is just that exact same type of concept with a few improvements on some of the activities and things like that. But for the most part, it's still the exact same game. And that really is where I guess the issue comes in. But to me, it's still a really good game for them to launch the PS5 with. It just, at that price tag, essentially if you compare this to Uncharted Lost Legacy, if you have played that game, Uncharted Lost Legacy came out at a $40 price tag, and this game came out at a $50 price tag, kind of going in line with the price increase that Sony did with their exclusive games like Demon's Souls. However, Demon's Souls, even at $70, is still probably worth it because that game is really long. You can do multiple playthroughs, you can do different builds. So again, that kind of comes back to what I was talking about before with the industry standards, how there's really no way to gauge, what a game is going to be value-wise when you look at the price. And so there's no standard that says if a game is under 20 hours, it can only be priced at this amount and so on. So that's kind of where you have to look at a game like this. This game is probably, if you're a big Spider-Man fan, then obviously it's a day one purchase. If you're a big Sony fan and you love the exclusive games like I do, then again, it's a day one purchase. I had a lot of fun playing it, but I was kind of hoping that I guess there would have been a little bit more to do. So let me know what you guys think, and share your thoughts down in the comment section below if you happen to be watching this. And please leave a like, consider subscribing, leaving a comment. Anything like that does help me out. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. It's probably going to be a lot more Demon's Souls content from here on out. There really isn't too much to do when it comes to Spider-Man, so I'll see you guys later.